Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers. Welcome to my latest podcast, where today I discuss The Fall Guy. Yes, The Fall Guy. Not The Fall Guy. The Fall Guy. So The Fall Guy, this is directed by David Leith, who directed Deadpool 2. And it stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt and Aaron Taylor-Johnson. So I have to admit, when I saw the trailers for this movie, I wasn't convinced. I kept seeing the trailers every damn time I went to the bloody cinema, and I just wasn't hooked by the trailers. The trailers looked fine. The movie looked like it was going to be promising, but at the same time, I just thought, oh, please stop showing this trailer. I'm so sick of it. But when I saw the movie yesterday, well, things may or may not have changed. So as far as the plot is concerned, it is as follows. A down-and-out stuntman must find the missing star of his ex-girlfriend's blockbuster film and uncover a secret mystery, whilst trying to rekindle his relationship. So The Fall Guy. I'm not going to beat around the bush, guys. I really like this film. I was blown away by how good this movie was. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but I just really enjoyed this movie. For sheer entertainment value alone, this movie wins so many points. It reminded me of Argyle in that sense, in terms of how entertaining it was. It doesn't have as many plot twists as Argyle. The plot isn't as convoluted in terms of the revelations. There's not as many plot revelations. The plot is fairly simple by comparison. But this movie is very well executed. It's just so much fun. It is brilliant fun. I laughed so much during this film. I didn't think it was going to be that funny. The laughs were honestly really great. I was sat there with a smile on my face the whole time. And yeah, this movie is just a delight from beginning to end. Not only is it a great action comedy, it's also a love story when you think of it like that, because the stuntman Colt, played by Ryan Gosling, is trying to rekindle his relationship with Jodie, the once camera operator but now director on her own film on this sci-fi movie. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson is the star of the movie, but he's missing. And that's the whole mystery. Like, why is he missing? What's gone on? And how is Colt involved? And what is he going to do to help the situation? So I can't say much more because I'll be spoiling it. But the mystery that uncovers itself is, you know, it's certainly satisfying. Let's put it that way. I won't say any more than that. You have to see the movie to find out more. There's a lot of great action in this movie, and because the lead character is a stuntman, that prompts for some amazing stunt work. There's one sequence which is the best action scene in the movie. It's like this proper full-on car chase and freeway chase, and you know, Colt is sliding on the metal bar on the road, and then it's intercut with a karaoke scene from Emily Blunt singing "Take a Look at Me Now," you know, Against All Odds by Phil Collins. You know, it shouldn't work, but for some reason, it just works, and it just made me laugh and smile. I actually want to see this film again. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I saw it. It's fun. It's fun. Like, the story isn't the deepest narrative ever. It's not the most intricate plot, but just for sheer fun and smiles and lightheartedness, it wins all over. And the performances are fantastic. The two leads in the film are phenomenal. Ryan Gosling as Colt, he's very good. Ryan Gosling is proving himself to be one of the most talented actors we have at the moment, and he's a really good lead for this film. He can really carry this part. And the character isn't necessarily the wisecrack. He's not necessarily the funniest person, but he is charming, and you can see why she likes him. You can see why he likes her as well. There's a chemistry there, and a very good one. Emily Blunt is in this movie, and she plays Jodie, the film director who Colt is in love with. And their love story is very well done, actually. It's very sweet and it's very cute. They have that kind of almost, it feels a bit like teenage awkwardness in some respects. It's almost like they went back to the beginning and kind of became lovers for the first time. It doesn't feel like they were ever really together. They sort of had a fling, as or a flingette, as Emily Blunt's character refers. But when they get back together, it's satisfying. It's very satisfying. Predictable, potentially. If you predict this movie, then I can totally understand that. Some of the plot twists might be a little predictable. That might be my only slight criticism of the film, but it doesn't take away from the sheer fun I had with it, and I'm honestly going to recommend this film to my friends because they'll have such a fun time. The action is huge and amazing. There's explosions and big budget, and this film also gives you an insight into filmmaking, because most of this movie is on a movie set, you know, which is kind of ironic. And a lot of the titles and graphics are done in the Courier font, which is the font used in scripts and shooting scripts. So that in itself is kind of nice and impressive. I think David Leitch's direction is fantastic. He definitely has that fun spirit that he brought to Deadpool. But it's not quite as dark as Deadpool, or quite as grim as that. Deadpool was a little bit more sad in a couple of places, but it was still funny. This is very funny. It's not laugh out loud, you know, slap your thigh funny, but there are some really good laughs in there. And I have to be honest, I laughed a lot more than I expected. And stay for the credits. Stay for those credits, because what you see in the credits is damn right hilarious. It's brilliant. It reminded me when I watched 22 Jump Street all those years ago, and they had all the different sequels that they went into, which was really funny. That was honestly very funny. This is no exception. We also have Aaron Taylor Johnson in this movie, who plays Tom Ryder, who is the actor that Colt is doubling. And he's not in the movie that much, but when he's in it, he's pretty good. I mean, his character's basically a prick, so that's all I can say without going into spoilers. He's a prick. Hannah Waddingham as Gail, who is the producer on the set. She's a very interesting character, and it kind of gives you an insight into certain movie producers. I'm sure not all of them are like this, but a lot of them do kind of, you know, say one thing, mean another, sweet talk their way out of situations, use their role as authority. She's very good at manipulating people and getting her way because she's the boss, as Wood. Whereas a good producer, and I would know from my own films, is to be accommodating to people and be honest and be, you know, open and go the extra mile for others. This producer don't do that. No, she doesn't do that. She's very vain. She's selfish. All she cares about is the movie being done and other reasons, which I can't go into because of spoilers. The music used in the film is good, and it's just so much fun. Cinematography is very good, and I like the distinction between certain moments where visually they're showing the finished movie that they're making, and then them filming that movie. This movie is very interesting on a visual level because we're having to see this through, obviously the film we're seeing is a finished film, but we're watching filmmakers film a movie, so it's almost like going through another lens. It's a really kind of subversive, interesting way to set this movie. In terms of the script, it's a very interesting idea to tell through a film. Having filmmakers be the protagonists of this film and be the center of the film that we're watching, which is their story. So I like the fact that the film feels like reality, but also feels like fantasy in certain elements, and it is kind of great to see how they distinguish that. Like I said, the only thing that might let this down is the certain predictability of certain twists. Could be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, it was kind of obvious it was going to go in that direction. But aside from that, I can't fault this movie. I was trying to think of what else I didn't like about it. There wasn't much. It left me with a huge smile on my face, and sometimes you don't need the most deep narrative. You don't need to be sad watching a film. You don't need to make people cry. You can make people laugh as well, and you can entertain people. That's what this film does. It entertains. And in the credits, there's a lot to see. So please see the credits. And this movie is honestly, it's almost a love letter to stuntmen in film as well, because stuntmen are often overlooked in terms of movies because they are on film, but they're not the face of the movie, if that makes sense. The actors are the face of the movie, but stuntmen should really get more recognition because they put their lives on the line for art, for creativity. That says a lot. So tribute to all the stuntmen working in film out there, because you guys and gals are amazing. So as for The Fall Guy, my final rating for this movie is a 9 out of 10. I never expected to give it that. I was expecting to give it a 7 at most, but no, this is really enjoyable. I'm actually going to try and see this movie again. I'm going to try and go and see this movie when my friends are around, because they'll love it. So anyway, thank you all for watching and listening, and until the next review, I will see you soon. Bye for now.